Hi guys, nice to see you all. And of course today is a review of the Begali Traveler's Light Morse key. So this was actually sent to me by Fred, and when he told me that, I just couldn't believe it. So Fred, you know who you are, man, and you're awesome. When I took this out of the packaging, which, you know, is very nice by the way, I was really pleasantly surprised because it's oozing quality basically. You know, mechanically it just feels right. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you just, you know, everybody says that and whatever. But really it does. And light is a bit of an understatement. Or overstatement, I should say. It's not that light. I think it's about 1.5 pounds, so it's quite a bit lighter than my Kent key here, which is my go-to key that I've been using for some time. This is a great key, by the way, and probably about 3 times cheaper than the Begali. I put my K1, and you might have seen it if you're watching my videos, in a pelican case. I cut the foam specifically for this key, got the measurements from the Begali website, and I cut the foam in my pelican case for this key years ago. And I was planning on buying it, yes. Ecstatic about it, really. I just wanted one. You know, when you're a fan of Morse code, the ultimate to have is a Begali key. You know, the same way maybe someone is passionate about cars might want a Lamborghini, you know. First of all, it opens up like this, so these aluminum braces here protect the key. Well, it's not that big, but again, it's not a tiny key like say the Palm key that I have. It's not a small key. I'm not sure it would be like a backpacking key. I wouldn't say so because of simply the weight, you know. You can have a Palm key and you know, hold it in your hand and it weighs only a few grams. This is 1.5 pounds, so it's not the lightest, it's not the smallest. I don't know why it's called a Traveler's Light. I think it's probably because of these ears here that open up to protect the finger pieces. And these are aluminum, by the way. These are machined aluminum, and that's a €25 extra, so probably about $30 extra to have the aluminum pieces. But I heard in some reviews that they were, you know, because they're very stiff, of course, you have a better feel. A very nice key here with the finger pieces, whoops, with the ears open, so that allows you to, you know, it doesn't move that way when you put it on the desk. And I've seen people say that, you know, it was light enough that they could move it on the desk. I don't know how they do that. They must have been using a bug before, because it doesn't move one bit. You can use a very light touch with it, of course, because it's so precise. The return is not made with springs, but it's magnetic return. So magnets ensure that when you press one finger piece, it just comes back. And that's awesome, that feels great. And the rest, of course, I didn't take it apart because I'm not going to take this thing apart. It's like I wouldn't take apart a Swiss watch, you know. I'm not sure I would be able to put it back together. So it's all the hardware is amazingly nice. I don't know if it's painted or anodized, but the color seems to be a little bit too deep for anodizing, but the finger pieces I think are anodized. The base might be painted, I'm not quite sure, but it's a very nice blue. You can get it in black, I think. The finger pieces you can get in different colors. I see those brass fittings here. It's just, and you know, when you fold these, you feel it's really precise. It's like you have to put some efforts into it. You have the connection here for the jack, and here you have a little piece of plastic for protecting the top of the key, which I'm going to put down here. It also comes with a gauge to adjust, you know, the spacing of the contacts, which you use those little knobs here. I'm going to plug it in. And I have my Elecraft K1. It's on 30 meters, so 10/115 right now. The question is, do you want to spend about $400 for a Morse key? And that's the elephant in the room, really. I have to talk about it because that's what people are going to wonder. It is an expensive key, and do you pay for the name? Do you pay only for the workmanship, which is, again, very high? It's very hard to answer that question, because of course what it's worth is what you're willing to pay for, and people are certainly willing to pay that much for that key. Personally, I would have bought it, so if I would have bought it, it's, for me, it's worth the price, but it doesn't make it easier on the wallet. So you can get a Kent for probably $150. Nice key, it works great, very heavy. That's a desktop key, it's not a portable key, but it doesn't have the same feel. I mean, here it's set pretty loose, but usually I set it a little bit better than that. But it's a very good key, and it works. I'm not going to say just as well, because I tried the Begali key already, and I could go up to 30 words per minute. I cannot go up to 30 words per minute with any other key. Now, that says something. I don't know why exactly that is. Maybe it's the magnetic return. It's the precision of the key. I don't know. But the fact is that I probably go about 5 words per minute faster with the Begali than I go with any other keys that I've tried so far. So it does speak, to the precision of the workmanship. So if it's worth it to you, it's worth it to you, right? It's like someone who buys a Ferrari. Like I said, is it worth what they're asking for? I don't know, maybe. The woman who buys a handbag for $500. Certainly not worth that much. But if you're willing to pay the price, that's what it's worth. And that's all there is to it. And you might think, well, aren't you overly enthusiastic about this key? The fact is that I have no connection to Begali, and I've just heard of them, and they've been in business for a long time, and they're very well appreciated, and have a good reputation. That's why I wanted one, and that's it. The little feeler gauge it came with to adjust the contacts. It's very narrow. You barely touch the key here, and that's it. It's going. It's making contact. You barely touch it. I used to put 18 words per minute as a default for my K1, and now I'm on 20. Just because of that key, because it's so easy to sound at 20. Of course, I might have more difficulty understanding, but probably not. It should be okay. I set it to 20 words per minute, and I'm going to call. Toffee. Yes, I splurged 25 euros extra for the aluminum finger pieces. And they put the plastic pieces in the box. The aluminum pieces were mounted on the key, so I didn't have to do it myself, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm gonna go to 25 words per minute. Now, normally I would have a very hard time doing this. Very hard time, and I would make a lot of mistakes. Flawless, yeah. Before I would have no doubt made at least one mistake during that call. Now if I go to 30, it's going to be a lot faster. That's really fast for me. I'm probably going to make one or two mistakes here. Not even. It's just that's why I'm smiling every time I use that key, because I would not have been able to do that with any other key than this one. I'm gonna go on 20. I'm gonna stay on 20 now. My default speed will be 20 watts per minute. I'll have to adjust my copying speed in my head, but oh well, that's progress, right? It does come with a leg strap. Right here you have a slot, an aluminum piece here with a slot for the strap. So it allows you to attach it to your leg if you're operating, where some people can operate while driving. And I'm totally incapable of that. And some people just would use it like that, portable in the field. But again, portable, if you're, say, like a thru hiker doing the Appalachian Trail, you're not going to take that key with you because it's just too heavy. Definitely, if you have any means of transportation, even if you're not going that far, I will take that key whenever possible. Let's just put it like this. Alright, so I'm going to plug in the Minion SDR and we'll see if that actually works. I'd be amazed. LY2M, LY2H, done, you're right, it does work. Oh, that's crazy. I don't know why that is. That, I mean, physically, I don't see any reason why it would work with that key and not another, but here's the proof is the pudding, right? Very happy about that. So the Minion SDR is working in Morse code, CW mode with the Traveler's Light. Maybe because the surfaces are not rough, microscopically are smoother with the gold plated on top, and that's better. I'm not quite sure, but it definitely does a big difference because with my Kent, although it's a good key, I can't use the Minion SDR for CW at all. It's just impossible. With the Begali, it works, right? And it's usable, so it's night and day. Anyway, you saw the key, you saw how it worked. Again, how can you say anything? You know, I mean, something that perfect. What else can I say? You know, it's just the price that's that's a bit much. But once again, it's worth what you're willing to pay for. And if you want a big name, if you want a Begali name, you want a Begali. That's the end of the story, right? I haven't found any bad thing about it. It's not that light, but again, if you put it on a desk or on a table, even a picnic table, you don't want it to be super light. Otherwise, you have to use two hands. I like to use only one hand on a key. I don't like to have to hold it, but sometimes I have to, like my palm paddles. Once again, thank you very much for your support. Until next time, have a good one.